Hi everyone, and thank you very much for those who have been waiting for me to go live on this live streaming. And I appreciate you guys for your usual support. And as you know, I'm not sure if you have watched our live streaming last Friday, or of course in the Philippines that is last Saturday. I did explain the step-by-step procedure on how people could apply through the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. I already mentioned that this is a 6 months processing program wherein after you launch your application in 6 months, you will become a permanent resident here in Canada. So for now, let us just wait first for others to log in so we could actually start our live streaming. Also, I would like to say hi to all our viewers. Please put your comments down there so I could shout out to all of you. So far, I have Mary Melody Kosai. Hello, sir. And hi, Melody. Shout out. Please also put the country where you are watching from so I know I could see how big our coverage is. And also, if you have some friends or relatives, or if you know anyone who is interested to immigrate and live here in Canada, please invite them. You could also share our link. Please share first so more people could join us. And eventually, I would be able to answer your questions. Okay? So, hi, Ruben Francisco. Hello again. Thank you for watching once again. Thank you. Also, hi, Tristan. Hi, Ray, watching from Abu Dhabi, UAE. Sabah Al Khair. Ruben Francisco is from Dubai. Oh, waiting since last night. Oh, thank you very much. And Melody. Oh, Melody Kosa is watching from Ontario. So it must be late there already. Mary Melody, thank you very much for watching in. Guys, I would like to apologize. I'm still working on one video. I'm having difficulty editing it, but definitely I will be uploading it for tomorrow. That is about rural and northern immigration pilot program, where I will be explaining the step-by-step procedure how people could come and immigrate using that program. And that is only actually specifically discussing the procedure of applying through RNIP and be able to immigrate to the beautiful town of Timmins in Ontario. So that is in Ontario, guys. So if that is your interested, or if you know people who are very much interested to immigrate to Timmins, Ontario, please wait for that video. That is Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot. But today we will be talking about AIPP. I hope that you have actually understand the program, the requirements. So because I told you right in the last live streaming that I had, I think a lot of people has been are still confused about what the program is. People are asking when can they send an expression of interest, what is the points required, this kind of things. So that is a very good video that I have created. So if you have not done so, please watch it. AIPP, Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, is very close to my heart. I immigrated here in Canada through that program. I waited for 7 months. Though the processing is only 6 months, my permanent resident was approved after 7 months. And I am happy because I've been living here in Canada since August 2018. I got my permanent residence in October 2018. And now I live here in Alberta, Canada, but originally I landed in Newfoundland. So I'm sharing my stories because I know a lot of people are very much interested to come and immigrate here in Canada. And I'm also thankful that I live here in Canada, especially during this COVID-19 crisis. I already mentioned that on my previous video. I'm very thankful that I live here in Canada because I lost my job. I got laid off because of COVID-19. However, the government of Canada did not or never failed to support me. I am receiving Canada Emergency Response Benefit. Even though I'm not working, I'm getting $500 every week. So imagine that that is how um, good the government of Canada is, and that is why I'm telling you guys, this is your opportunity. Learn as much possible information in order for you to fulfill your dreams of coming and immigrating here in Canada. So we are getting more viewers now. So I'll just greet them all, guys. Hi Arunava Maitra. Hi buddy. Hope you are doing good. I'm doing well. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention to you. Remember, I told you that last week I was going for a job interview. I just got the call this morning. I got the job. We're just finalizing the offer letter. So they're actually offering me a bit low than what I'm expecting. So I'm actually bargaining. Hopefully they could give what I want, right? But yes, so hopefully I could start my work soon. So because I have been not working since March, I think. So it's been a while. Though I have been doing skip the dishes, food delivery, money is good as well. But of course, I want to do the job that I'm very passionate about, right? So what I'm saying here is, yes, there are difficulties getting a job, but you do not have to lose hope because there is always an opportunity for everyone. Okay, so let's just greet everyone first. Shout out, Jom Soriaga. Hi, blessing. Oh, blessed morning from Bahrain. Wow, we also have a viewer from Bahrain. Thank you very much for watching. And we also have Donna Kaadan. Hi po. Hello. We also have Shantanu Das. Oh, most awaiting video. Thank you very much. You're making me blush there. We've got Mani Raja. Hi, brother. Shall you share about NOC code 1215 warehouse supply chain logistics? Yes, that's what we're going to do today. We are going to check online what are the jobs that are very much in demand in Atlantic Canada. Remember last live streaming, I went through the Atlantic provinces, AIPP designated employers. So I hope that you already have an idea what kind of or who are the employers that might be interested to hire you or could hire you to immigrate here in Canada. So that's the kind of thing that we are doing today. We will go through the job openings and check if they and for you to check if they are actually AIPP designated employer. If they are, then immediately send your application, right? So before we go through, let's just greet everyone who are watching us today. We also have Donna Kadan planning to start my application. Okay, Donna, if you have questions later on, after I provide the information, you could ask the questions afterwards and we will go through them one by one. So that would be the format of our live streaming. First part is we'll discuss the topic, and then latter part we will be answering your questions, AIPP related, and of course whatever questions that I might be able to answer, we'll do that as well. Sri Catherine, I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm done with my IELTS. I'm looking for job offer. How to designated employers job letter. I created a video about tips on how you could get a job offer from an AIPP designated employer. I would encourage you to please watch that so you could learn all the tips. They are very effective, proven, tested, proven, and effective. So I would not say that you should miss it. Please have a look, and of course we are here. We are doing a live, so people could actually watch and join us, and of course, first-hand information from myself. Okay. For those who don't know me yet, my name is Ray. I do create videos about immigration. I provide tips and help people understand the different programs. And if you have questions or clarifications about immigrating to Canada, please, I could also provide you answers as much as I could. I also completed my immigration practitioner's diploma here in Canada last January 2020, and I will be taking the licensure exam on August 6 to become an immigration consultant, a licensed immigration consultant, so I could help you with your immigration needs later on. But now what I'm doing is I'm providing information at the same time to help people fulfill their dreams and to motivate you guys. I originally arrived in Newfoundland and Labrador through AIPP, but now I move here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Okay, so let's go through some more of our greetings and shout out to other people. Okay, just 1 second, guys. I'll just go through and just shout out all our viewers, and then we'll go visit the website for job openings. Okay, so we also have Sri Catherine, I already mentioned. Hi, Jetlag Toya. Hello, hello. Donna Kadan watching from Dubai. Fitzgerald Respes watching from Bahrain. God bless her. We have another viewer from Bahrain. We also have Hoshiar Singh. We also have Keith Kirby Lakap. Okay, Keith Kirby Lakap was also with us last Friday. Of course, that's Saturday in the Philippines. We also have Annette Tan. Hello, hello, Annette Tan. Annette Tan works with the immigration in the Philippines. So if you have concerns or questions about immigration, Philippine immigration, of course. Okay, so and let's read your comments. Mary Melody Kosai, can we apply in AIPP even we're in Canada already? I hope NOCC is included. Yes, definitely. Mary Melody Kosai, you can apply while you're here in Canada. However, if you would need to apply for a work permit, it has to be done from outside of Canada. But of course, while you're here, you can send your application for permanent residence if you would get a job offer from an AIPP designated employer. Arun Nava Mitra, AIPP and RNIP, but no luck. Any tips or any reference? My NOC code is 13111111 accountant. I am from India. I'm having 10 years of experience in companies like PwC, EY, Deloitte, and HSBC. We'll go through your question later on and we'll provide answers. Hoshiyar, please share job opportunities of civil engineers, NOC 2131. Annette Tan, hello. Ray, good evening to you. Can you give us a link for designated employer for Atlantic provinces? Kudos to you, Ray. Keep up your good deeds. God bless you more and more. Oh, Annette Tan, I already actually put the link. Please visit the previous, my last live streaming, the one that I did last Friday, Saturday. Canada PR in 6 months, AIPP live streaming, step-by-step guide. Please visit that on the description page or on the description. I already put the links there. So you could visit that and you could go through the list of AIPP designated employers. Remo Analuam, hi Sir Ray again from Saudi Arabia. Still waiting for our PR application. Still no AOR yet. Is there any idea now whether we started processing our PR application? Paper-based AIPP healthcare. So Remo, please comment when did you actually submit your application so we could actually tell and we could check. Page Space, hi there from India, Annette Tan. Wow, thanks a lot, Ray. Okay, so thank you very much for everyone who's viewing, and let us actually do an overview, a review for those people who did not watch our live streaming last Saturday. So our live streaming last Saturday was AIPP Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. I know this is the program that you are all very excited. This started in 2017 initially to launch and last for 3 years. They extended it now until 2021. They already there are some articles mentioning that AIPP could be permanent. We just have to wait until it's final, so you don't have to worry about it. It's an opportunity to immigrate to any of the 4 Atlantic provinces, meaning the East Coast. So what are these provinces? New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Islands, Newfoundland and Labrador. The only thing about it is, of course, there's not much of people living there because, as you are all aware, everyone wants to go through to the metro, right? Everyone wants to go to Ontario, to Edmonton, to Calgary, to Vancouver. These are the cities where people want to go. So people would want to live in Alberta. These are the provinces: Alberta, Ontario, Manitoba, and British Columbia and Ontario. So most of the people actually are left there, or who lives there actually decide to move to this to the west. That's why Atlantic Canada always need people, and COVID-19 might have impacted this hiring of people from overseas. But I'm telling you guys, now is the best time because a lot of businesses are now reopening. Newfoundland and Labrador recently just did their Atlantic bubble, meaning people can now start to go in Newfoundland. So there's a lot of opportunities going on, and you do not have to wait. When you see an opportunity, please jump into it. So that's why we are going through the application, or we are going through what are the jobs that are very in demand in Atlantic provinces right now. Okay, so also just to review, what are the requirements for AIPP? Of course, one is you must have at least 1 year of work experience within the last 3 years to the job, related to the job that you are applying to. You also need to be a Canadian high school graduate. Of course, we understand you do not come here and study high school. So if you graduated from your home country, not a problem at all. You need to get an ECA, or Educational Credential Assessment, which is the conversion of your home diploma to the standards of the equivalent to Canadian educational system. You also need to have an English or French exam, IELTS, CELPIP, or TEF, it doesn't matter. And the main requirement for AIPP, you only need to have a CLB4. Imagine CLB4, that is not a very high score, so it is very easy for people to get that. You also need to have enough proof of fund. Proof of fund, guys, for a single applicant, it's around 3,000 Canadian dollars. Imagine in peso, it's only like 100,000 pesos, around that amount. So that's not much of money compared to when you are immigrating through PNP or express entry, where you need to present 500,000 pesos. So imagine, that is a very, very good program. And of course, lastly, you need to have a job offer from an AIPP designated employer. So that's what we're going um, to, to discuss today. Okay, so we also have Desireen Igot. Hi, Surrey, watching here from Cebu City. Oh, Desireen, greetings from Canada. Please be safe. I know Cebu has lots of COVID-19 right now. Please be safe there. Remo Analu, sir, submitted last May 2020. Our paper till now, no AOR yet. Thanks for the infos. God bless. Sabi kasi pag healthcare, mabilis lalo pag AIPP. Okay, if you submitted your application on May 2020, it has been 2 months now. So if you do not receive an AOR, you could actually check that through GCKey, gckeycanada.ca, and then there is sign in or create an account, and then you would be able to link your application. It will ask for your, I think you have choices, ask for your last name, for your date of birth, those kind of information, and you would be able to retrieve your application, and you would see if they actually got it. Sometimes, like for example, my sister, she did not receive an AOR, so that's what she did. She actually checked online and linked her application, and she was able to see that she already got an AOR online on the GCKey on the website, but she never received an email. So sometimes it happens, so I would encourage you to do that. Okay, so let us start, guys. I know this is the kind of thing that you have been waiting for right now. So what we're going to do is, I always mention this, what are the job sites that you could actually look for job opportunities if you want to find a job offer for AIPP. I always recommend job bank, jobs, indeed.ca, or you could also do Glassdoor or Monster. Okay, so first, let's go check indeed.ca, guys. So as you could see here, there's an option whether you want to look for the kind of job or the job title, and where do you want to see the job. For example, let's start Newfoundland and Labrador, okay? So we are actually looking for the job openings or job opportunities in Newfoundland and Labrador. I'm checking this through Indeed, guys. So I'll read to you what are the jobs readily available, because I know a lot of people have been asking about this, and it's for you actually just to cross check from the list of AIPP designated employers, so that you would be able to send your application, and you are guaranteed that you could process through AIPP if you would get a job offer from them. Okay, so first we also have okay, just one second. I have some more comments here. Yogesh Gorpade, Sarumad Madhavan, Mary. Okay, so we'll check and read your questions first. Later, I'll just go through the list of job opportunities. So, guys, for Newfoundland and Labrador, these are the jobs needed. They need an Apple technician. We can train, so that means they can train. The company is Jump Plus. So that is in St. John's, Newfoundland. So that is a job needed. Apple technician. So Jump Plus is a shop that sells electronics. So Apple. So the brand itself. They also need customer service associate for Orange Store in St. John's, Newfoundland, guys. Okay, so they need also classroom assistant, primary and secondary school, Newfoundland NLESD, St. John's, Newfoundland. So I think these teachers who are interested, I think you could also apply to this job. You could also, there is also an opening for train conductor. Train conductor, that is in Wabush, Newfoundland. um, for people who are actually admin type, okay, or office clerk, there is an opportunity for clerk typist. There is a job hiring for clerk typist under Koniger Peninsula Health Center in Newfoundland and Labrador. So guys, check this out. There is also an opportunity or a job hiring for clerk 4, that is from Eastern Health Canada, and the salary is also good, guys. $23.53 to $26 per hour. So if you are actually more of office admin, so check that out. There is also a posting under Eastern Health Canada as well for child management specialist. Okay, good job. There is also for financial administrator, Lab City Dental. So this is in Labrador City, guys. They are paying $23 an hour. Wow. Also, there is a job opening for front desk receptionist. So that is under Dr. K. Williams Dentistry, guys. So that is also a job opening. Another opening from Eastern Health Canada, clerk typist 3. Just for everyone's overview, guys, Eastern Health Canada is like the general hospital in Newfoundland and Labrador, and they have different hospitals in the province. So if you could actually work and apply there, that would be very, very good opportunity for you. Okay, there is also so there is also an opening for communication officer. Guys, communication officer, that is in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, Newfoundland and Labrador. The pay is good, 60 to $70,000 a year. Wow. There is also a need for clerk, a lot of clerk openings, guys. Notre Dame Bay Memorial Health Center. We also have an opening for schedule coordinator from Comfort Home Care, Bay Roberts, Newfoundland. So as you could see, guys, there's a lot of needs for office and clerical jobs coming from the health sector. Okay, so they're also now hiring all positions, the Martini Bar. So F&B guys, packaging operator, Labatt Breweries of Canada. So this is beer production bottling office. There is also an appointment clerk, Kelly Ford in Gander, Newfoundland. And another opening, Voices Bay construction miner. Wow. Okay, people working in construction business, construction industry. There is also an opportunity for construction worker, guys, in Gander, Newfoundland. And I think I already read through AIPP designated employers. There's a lot of AIPP designated employers in the construction industry. Okay, before we continue, James Wayne, hi Sir Ray, greetings from Dubai. Saru Madhavan, now you are telling about job opportunities. Is it an international recruitment? Okay, Saru Madhavan, thank you for that question. Okay, so I cannot answer that if that's an international recruitment. Of course, that is that is the prerogative of the employer. However, I'm giving you opportunities to know what are the different jobs available, and you could try to apply. But of course, it is up to the employer. But for AIPP, yes, they actually hire people from overseas. Okay. And also, Saru Madhavan, before submitting our AIPP application, what is minimum period of validity IELTS report? 6 months before IELTS. Okay, Saru Madhavan, if you get a job offer and you're actually applying for a permanent residence through AIPP, the thing is, your IELTS is valid for 2 years. You could submit it anytime as long as it's still valid. Okay, for example, if your today is July 14 or July 15 already, and then you submit your application and your IELTS is actually expiring on July 20, if they actually receive your application today, that is still valid. It doesn't matter if your IELTS expires during the processing. What is important is that is valid when you send or when they receive your application. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay? Let's go through other questions before we continue. Yogesh Gorpade, what about painter? We will check. Oh, there are opportunities. Construction, maybe, of course, there's a possibility for a painter over there. Mary Melody Kosai, my husband is my open work permit, sir. I am a student. Can he start applying or start working? Even my class will start at September. Mary Melody Kosai, if you're already here in Canada and your husband already has an open work permit, yes, he could already start looking a job because he has an open work permit. It doesn't matter if your, of course, if your schooling will start on September. If you're already here, that means it's a valid. Okay. Okay, Saru Madhavan, thank you for clarifying my doubts. Not a problem. Or Russell Pangilinan. Hi. Hi, Sir Ray. What's the age limit acceptable in AIPP? There is no age limit in AIPP, guys. It doesn't matter. You're 50, 55, or 60. If you get a job offer from an AIPP designated employer and you are not inadmissible to come and live here in Canada, you could process and become a permanent resident under this program. When I was actually processing my permanent residence, I had a colleague, a batchmate who also got a job offer, and she was 55 that time, and it did not hinder her. For now, she's actually living here in Alberta, Canada. Okay, so could you tell me about engineering or manufacturing openings? Okay, so Saru, to answer that, let's go through again. Let's continue the job openings in Newfoundland and Labrador. Okay, there is also an opening for accounting clerk, guys. Accounting, so people who are accountants, for sure you could apply to that job. Medical front desk receptionist or greeter, guys. Okay, so there's a lot of opportunities here. Trades worker, that's Eastern Health Canada. Okay, there are also opportunities. Battle sorter, freelance resume writer, Talent Inc. Okay, so that's good to know. We also have, okay, before we continue, Rohania Roberts. Hi Ray, good to hear from you again, watching from Dubai. Oh, HMZ Google Box. Okay, thank you for watching again. We've got Segun Olatunji, shout out. Buraimo, great job, sir. Segun from Nigeria. Greetings to Segun from Nigeria, okay? So we also go through other opportunities. Warehouse shipper, Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Okay, so warehouse are very, very in demand as well. They are very, very highly needed, especially a lot of retail jobs. They are very much needed here in Canada right now. And Vienna Francisco, hello again. Thank you for viewing. Oh, Bernard Sturmer, hello, hello from Australia. Oh, guys, before I forgot, please, if you have not done so, please click our thumbs up so we could actually, I know that you are enjoying our video. And if you have not done so, please subscribe as well to our YouTube channel, okay? So once again, let's continue for we're going through oh, thank you Bernard for already doing a thumbs up. Some more job opportunities, some job openings, guys. Take note: food and beverage, downtown restaurant, St. John's, Newfoundland. There are also job openings for general laborers, integrated logistics in Placentia, Newfoundland. There is also a job for online marketing manager, Gypsy Tea Room. Oh, that's very good, guys. Oh, this is new. There is project coordinator. So I think that's something that you should be looking into. A job opening for satellite installer. Okay, remember guys, AIPP only requires high school graduate. Okay, Canadian high school graduate. So the good thing about the program, you don't have to have a degree as long as your ECA could be high school graduate. Other openings, guys, please take note: logistics administrator in Harbor Grace, Newfoundland. That is Harbor Grace Cold Storage. We also have plant worker, Newfoundland eggs. Okay, so those people who are interested to work in okay, egg factory maybe. So there is a job opening for plant worker. There is also fund development coordinator, intermediate analyst, guys, Omega AS Newfoundland and Labrador. Okay, guys, for those who just started viewing us or watching us, I'm going through Newfoundland first. Okay, we'll go province by province, and this is based on Indeed.ca. I know a lot of people, guys, have asked me, drivers. Okay, there's a job opening for drivers. The company FedEx. Okay, so please check that out. There are also operators and techs, Marwood Limited in Newfoundland. Okay, guys, I already mentioned there's a lot of opportunities for food service supervisor, Tim Hortons in St. Anthony, Newfoundland. Food service supervisors, of course, I came from food service, so I know it's very in demand here in Canada. Okay, so while loading, restaurant staff, Dairy Queen, admin assistant, bookkeeper, guys, okay, accountants, accounting and management services Inc. So there's an opportunity there. Domestic worker, okay, retail stores clerk, there is also an opening. Group home manager for caregivers, guys, okay. There are also post office assistant, school custodian, okay, so there are also need for that. Okay, front desk receptionist, operation supervisor. Oh, there's a lot of jobs here, okay. So I know someone were actually asking civil engineer and assistant building manager, Ahmed Rashwan. Okay, let's go and check if there's if there is an opening for, just 1 second, okay? Building manager, is it? Okay, just 1 second. I will check. Building manager. Okay, there is none post. Okay, I think project manager. For project manager, there is an opening for hospitality, Newfoundland and Labrador. There is business development or sales. Store manager, M&M Food Market, Corner Brook, Newfoundland. So those people who have opportunities or experience as store managers are also needed. Okay, so those are the job openings, but still there's a lot of list. I'll just go through. Oh, food production manager. Guys, those people who work in food production, there is also an opening for you there. Product manager, service manager, manager of support services, chief manager for food, for restaurant, and store manager for Telus, which is an internet provider here in Canada. Project manager assistant, manager of public health. Okay. Okay, so these people asking for building science project engineer. There is assistant general manager, hatchery worker, account manager. Okay, so accountants, guys. Oh, there is an opening for customer service representative, BMO Financial Group. So I know a lot of people have asked about customer service jobs. There is an opening. Project technologists, a lot of jobs here. So, okay, so those are the jobs for Newfoundland. Let's go through Glassdoor. Glassdoor.ca is another site for jobs. So maybe let's go through them one by one as well. So if there are some jobs that have not been discussed earlier, maybe there is an opportunity for you here. So first, there is a train conductor opening, guys. Data entry for clerk, client relations specialist, operations coordinator, okay, operations coordinator, industrial hygienist, barista, community service worker, project coordinator, safety and security monitor. There is also an opening there. An inventory clerk, also community service worker, educator, guys. There is an opening for educator, warehouse shipper, sales rep, fund development coordinator. Other jobs, oh, inbound customer service representative. McDonald's is hiring safety manager, logistics administrator. Wow. Those are some of the jobs in Newfoundland and Labrador. We can also check your specific jobs there. Just put that in our comment so we can actually check. Okay, so before we go through, let's check other. Cyril Igot, hello po. I'm a real estate practitioner here in the Philippines. What could be possible job related to my professional there in Canada? For real estate, to be honest, you have to see um, the job. Of course, I don't know your duties and responsibilities. When you're looking for a specific job NOC, you need to check the jobs and responsibilities of that NOC, and you need to compare that to your existing NOC, or I mean existing duties and responsibilities. And if there is a job that is actually related or similar to what you are doing right now, then that could be an NOC that you could apply. Okay, so Saru Madhavan, you told the processing time for AIPP is 6 months. Will the processing done in exactly 6 months? Please differentiate temporary work permit and permanent residence time process. Okay, thank you for that question, Saru. Okay, AIPP, that is the average processing. Okay, this is what happens. So IRCC has a time frame for all the programs. So if they say that 6 months processing for AIPP, it's not a guarantee that in the within 6 months you would get a result. However, what the time frame says is if they actually exceed the processing time and they have not sent you a decision, you could actually follow up. So that is the time frame. That means if they say 6 months, but it's more than 6 months, you have not received a result of on your application, then you could actually send a follow up. And that is what happened on my application because I already told you, right? I got my my PR actually was approved after 7 months. So on my 6 month after that, when it was finished, I actually sent them a follow up asking what's going on with my application. It is more than 6 months. I have not received a decision yet. And they replied and they said that they apologize for the delay and please expect an update in few days, which I actually got actually after a week. So yeah, so that's what is I'm trying to say there. 6 months processing. That is the estimated time frame. What is the difference between PR and temporary work permit? Of course, PR is actually processed in Canada. Work permit is processed through your Canada embassy, and then it's sent back to the visa office where you apply. Visa or temporary foreign worker work permit, actually the processing is not the same. It actually varies with the countries that you are actually applying for. For example, in the Philippines, it's an average minimum of 7 weeks processing. I got my work permit after 7 weeks, but I know in the Middle East, it's actually more than 6 months. And sometimes sometimes the, how do you say that? The, sometimes the permanent residence or the PR gets approved first even before the work permit. So that's the I hope I am able to explain that. I also saw a question as well. Rahul Chauhan, where is the opening for accountants? Where can I find that? I just read accountant or account managers, accountants, bookkeepers, Rahul. So go through indeed.ca and you can check the opening for that, and you could actually send your application directly there. James Wayne, thanks sir question. Personal opinion niyo po, better po ba mag-agency kaso ang mahal or okay naman pag DIY? Same po kaya ang result? Okay, James Wayne, what James Wayne is asking, is it better to get the assistance of an immigration consultant but it's very expensive, or doing it yourself, is it the same result? Okay, for me, of course, that is your option. I can say you can actually get or hire an immigration consultant, or you could also do it yourself. if you know yourself, right? Of course, I cannot say that you need to take an immigration consultant or you can do it yourself because I don't know you personally. I don't know um, your skills, or I don't know you as a person. However, if you think that you can actually do that, you understand the process, you know how to fill up the application forms properly, and you are able to explain your case, doing yourself is not a problem. If you're confident that you can present, you can fill up the forms properly, you could do complete your application forms and the documents needed, that is fine. You could do it yourself. I did it myself, and I was able to get my permanent residence. My application was not sent back to me. However, I know a lot of people and I pity them because they sent their application and then they waited for long, and then their application was sent back because there's a missing signature, there are information that was not filled in properly, or there is a missing document. So imagine, sometimes just a missing signature would actually cause for your papers documents to be returned, and then after you have to complete that, you have to resend and resubmit, and it takes a while, right? So that's the problem. When you hire an immigration consultant, of course, if you are not 100% confident and you do not understand what the program is, it's very ideal to get their assistance, so they could make sure that you they could explain to you the process. They would be able to evaluate you if you're actually qualified to undergo the process and those kind of things. So once again, it's up to you. It's not a guarantee that you hire an immigration consultant, that your application would be successful, but they could help you fill out the forms and explain to you about the procedures as well. Okay, let's go through other questions. Okay, just 1 second. I'm still browsing. Okay, so Segun, is there an opportunity in real estate industry under AIPP like property manager, real estate salesperson, etc.? I saw an opening for property manager, so you could try on that. However, real estate, of course, there is licensure here in Canada, so you cannot do a real estate salesperson. You cannot come here as a real estate. But property manager, there is a job opening, so you can try. Mary Melody Kosai, hi sir, my husband is in the food and beverage restaurant. Happy to hear that there's a lot of opportunities. What we just need is to have an employer. Thanks a lot. Yes, that is what you need. So start sending your application now because opportunities are coming. Businesses are reopening, and you could see a lot of jobs being posted nowadays. So please take note and take advantage of that because there are also a lot of applicants. So please make sure the earlier the better, right? Mark Paul Parado, hi Sir Ray, how about kitchen helpers? Kitchen helpers, not much. Because usually they do not have a job for kitchen helpers itself. Because here it's cook. Okay, if you're a cook, you also do the kitchen helping. You know what I mean? So they don't just hire for kitchen helpers. So if you're a kitchen helper right now, what I would suggest is work hard to become a cook. At least become a commie 3 or a cook. So just get 1 year of experience and you could apply because there's a lot of opportunities for cooks here as well. Rahul Chauhan, accountant and infrastructure. Yes, there are a lot of jobs. Rohanya Roberts, executive assistant or admin assistant. Rohanya, I just read through some of the job openings, and there are openings for executive assistant and admin assistant and clerk and different office administrators jobs. So yes, you could try and send your application. Arun Nava Mitra, one question: if I get a job offer from an AIPP employer, Can I get a job permit before getting a PR? Arunava, yes, yes, yes. However, work permit is actually the prerogative of the employer. So some employers might ask you or might require you to apply for a work permit while processing your permanent residence because they badly need you. And that is the same in my case. For example, I arrived here on a work permit while waiting for my permanent residence. However, there are other employers who actually um, will not require you to apply for permanent residence because it will cost them some money. If they need you to apply for a work permit, they have to pay for a compliance fee, which is 200 Canadian dollars per application. So imagine if they're actually getting more people, so they will be paying $200 per applicant. But there, as I've said, my sister, she was hired here. She arrived as an immigrant because the employer did not require them to apply for a work permit. Okay, I hope that explains your question. Okay, I'll just read. I'll just drink some water. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's continue. Mr. 132, hi Ray, your videos are so informative. Thank you for all the detailing from Perth, Western Australia. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. 132. I appreciate your feedback. Ahmed Rashwan, do you recommend an agency to help find job offer? Could you tell us about your agency who helped you there, if there is one? Okay, Ahmed Rashwan, with this, I actually do not recommend any manning agency or immigration consultant. One reason is because, of course, not everyone are successful with dealing with immigration consultant. Maybe one immigration consultant work with me or work for me, but it could not be successful to others. For example, the immigration consultant that I hired and helped me find a job offer, I heard some feedback that my friends, I recommended with my friends, and they actually applied for a temporary for a student visa program, study program here in Canada, and the immigration consultant was not able to help them well, and they actually were denied in their application for study permit. So you know what I'm trying to say here is that's the reason why I no longer recommend or mention immigration consultants, because one thing is that, and another thing is, of course, I cannot verify all of them. They could be illegal, and I don't want people to tell me to say that, oh, Ray actually recommended an illegal immigration consultant, and I don't want to be blamed for that. So that is one of the reasons, and I think you are all aware, guys, that I'm actually working towards getting an immigration consultant license. So if you could wait, if you really want a representation, if you could wait for some time, I could be that person as soon as I get my immigration consultant license. Okay, I already got my diploma. I will be sitting down for a licensure exam. It was delayed because of COVID-19, but August 6th is the date for my exam. Okay? And another thing with that, agencies promising jobs to people, right? And that is what they're using to attract people, because they will say, oh, there's an opening for this position, I can help you get that. And then you pay, and after you pay, then their services just end there, because I always keep on telling this, no immigration consultant can guarantee a job, because it's still the employer's prerogative. It's still the employer's decision if they will hire you or not. Okay, some more questions. Saru Madhavan, if I get a job under AIPP, can I apply temporary work permit? After landing within 1 year, can I get PR? Okay, Saru Madhavan, thank you for that question, and that is a very good question. In AIPP, there is, how do you say that? There is a document actually that you have to fill out, that you only are allowed to apply, or you should apply for a permanent residence within the 90 days after you sent your application for work permit. So you cannot wait for 1 year. So if you're being processed for AIPP, you apply for work permit because your employer required you to apply for work permit. Within 90 days, you should have applied for a permanent residence. Okay, so that is a requirement. So not more than a year. Mr. 132, is the job of food service supervisor manager in demand? Yes, very much in demand. Can I apply under that for AIPP? If you could get a job offer from an AIPP designated employer for food service supervisor or manager, yes, you could actually apply for AIPP. Aruma Nava Maitra, another question. If I get a job offer from an AIPP employer, can I get a job permit before getting a PR? I think I already answered that. Will it be an LMIA exempt or it need positive LMIA? Arunava, good thing about AIPP, it is LMIA exempted, and that makes the process easier and faster because the employer does not have to apply for an LMIA. Okay, as long as they are AIPP designated employer, they posted the job openings and they are not successful getting local candidates, then they could actually hire you, and that's the reason why they do not need an LMIA for that. UD Herwanta, my age was 47 years already. Do I still have a chance? Process for work permit? Yes, UD Herwanta. It doesn't matter if you're 47 or older, as long as you get a job offer from an AIPP designated employer, you could process. James Wayne, thank you, sir. You are the best. Thank you very much as well. Mary Melody Kosai, sir, how much is the processing fee when we apply for AIPP? Okay, so I'll check that because I don't remember. Though AIPP processing fee. Because they already changed it. When you actually apply for AIPP, these are the fees that you need to take note. Of course, you have to think of the payment for your IELTS exam, the payment for your ECA, and the payment. You would also be needing police clearances from all the countries that you've lived for a minimum of 6 months. So imagine also the cost of that. You also need to pay for a PR fee, for the application fee. I'll just check that because I know it changed recently. So, okay, for permanent residence, economic immigration, Atlantic. Okay, so these are the fees. So your application fee or processing fee is 825 Canadian dollars, and the right of permanent residence fee is $500. So you would be paying 1,325 Canadian dollars. Okay, so if you have your spouse, also another 1,325. And if you have a dependent child, that's 225 Canadian dollars per dependent child. Of course, that should be in addition to your proof of fund. Okay, so that's your answer. Mark Paul Parado, so how can we find employers, Ray? Okay, so this is what I'm doing right now. I'm just actually, I'm going through the job site that I recommend, and then I'm just answering questions as well. So if you're actually looking for an opportunity, how can you find an employer? There is an AIPP designated employer list for per province, per Atlantic province. And I already went through some of the employers on that list during my last live streaming. If you did not watch that, um, please, I encourage you to have a look. I also put the link for the list of AIPP designated employers per province. So you could actually visit it and check it yourself. So you could actually see what are the employers that could be hiring related to your industry or to your work experience. And also, if you're looking for job opportunities, there are different job sites that could actually help you. For example, I always recommend the Job Bank because this Job Bank is a government website where all job opportunities are actually posted. There are also other commercial job sites such as Indeed.ca, Glassdoor.ca, Monster. You could also find job openings in LinkedIn. So those are some of the sites where you could actually look for specific opportunities. And then, as I've said, if you know or if you have friends here in Canada, you could actually ask them to call the employers on your behalf and ask them personally if they have job openings, right? Or you could send them an email. Excuse me. Uh, hmm, Another question. Saru Madhavan, can I apply for different NOC where some of my job responsibilities matches the NOC? Yes, Saru, you could apply for to a different NOC as long as you have a minimum of 1 year work experience within the last 3 years of that job. It doesn't have to be the most recent, but it has to be 1 year, at least 1 year experience within the past 3 years. Okay. Mary Melody Kosai, do we still need, sir, to have proof of funds even we have an employer? Thank you. Mary, yes, that is a requirement. You have to have a proof of fund. And if you have an employer, because a job offer is a requirement for AIPP as well, it doesn't matter. Though there is actually a clause in AIPP that you are actually exempted from proof of fund if you are already here in Canada and working with a proper work permit. You are exempted from showing a proof of fund. That is an exemption. However, I know a friend of mine, even though he's already here in Canada and he applied for his permanent residence while he's already working in Canada on a work permit through AIPP, he was again, he should have been exempted for proof of fund, but he was still asked for a proof of fund. So you just have to be prepared as well. Though, of course, you could contest because on the website it says that you should be exempted, right? So, yeah. In terms of Saju Salam, in terms of proof of funds, if it is a gift deed, is it acceptable to have it after receiving the offer or IPA? Saju Salam, yes, you could actually get or you could use a gift deed even though before or after receiving an offer, a job offer. As long as there is a proof that the money has been given to you legally. Saruhad Madhavan, after getting job, can we maintain the specified proof of funds or is there any minimalistic time to maintain proof of funds? Saru, what I always recommend to people is you need to hold on that proof of fund until you get the decision of that your permanent residence has been approved. Why? Because I do not want people to actually lose it. To all their efforts to go into waste just because they touched their proof of fund. I know some friends of mine who actually use their proof of fund even while there's no result yet of their application. But of course, we do not want to risk it, right? Some officers are actually very strict and they very on the book. So of course, so you already there, right? You already undergone the process and you're just waiting for a permanent residence. So better to wait before you actually touching it. And from Mark Paul Parado, thank you so much, sir. Very well explained. Okay, so I'm still answering questions. And if there are some questions that I actually missed, please write them again so I can go through them. While waiting for other questions, let us move forward on some of the other jobs that are actually in demand in Atlantic Canada. Okay, so we just actually went through some of the job openings for Newfoundland and Labrador. Now let us go to another province in Atlantic Canada, New Brunswick. So New Brunswick, guys, for those who are not aware, is a bilingual province, meaning they speak both French and English. So if you are French speakers, then there's a better opportunity, or some of the employers in New Brunswick require people who speak French, but not all employers. But of course, if you speak French, you get an advantage of living or getting an employer in New Brunswick. So, okay, so now we're going, or I'll read to you some of the job available position for New Brunswick. And listen, guys, maybe this is something that is related to your experience. And if it is, do not waste time and send your application. There is an opening for medical receptionist for Center d'Ophthalmologie Acadie Brattours. Okay, I don't speak French, so I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. But there's an opening for medical receptionist in New Brunswick, admin assistant, Sackville Smiles, general laborer, guys. Okay, so food service supervisor, Tim Hortons in Moncton. So I already told you there's a lot of openings for food service supervisor. Admin retail support, Jump Plus, Moncton, New Brunswick. Greenhouse worker, Jolly Farmer Products Inc. So there is also an opening for that. General labor production, McCain Foods in Florenceville, Bristol, New Brunswick. Animal attendant, hostess, buzzer server, dog handler or kennel attendant, post office assistant, farm worker. Okay, so more of agriculture jobs posted here. City clerk, sample receiving, shipping, and login clerk, warehouse order selector. Okay, assembly line worker, warehouse assistant. Okay, so I already said a lot of needs for warehouse jobs. Reception kennel assistant, compliance coordinator, guys, process operator, food and beverage processing, laborer and packaging, airport maintenance worker. There is also job for fish processing and packaging, office assistant, front desk agent, comfort inn, apple picker. Okay, so la fleur de pommier, customer service associate. There is another job for that. Assistant store manager for Tim Hortons again. Food service supervisor for Tim Hortons. So there's a lot of jobs. Office administrator, payroll and benefits administrator. There is job opening for cloth sorter, child care worker, farm machinery operator, pita pit, gas bar attendant, self-serve. Also, Canadian Tire is looking for employees, photographers, assistants, post-production, HSE specialist, GED test administrator and invigilator, warehouse worker, bookkeeper, customer service representative. There is also a job there. General labor, store associate, project coordinator. Project coordinator, there is baker. Okay, if you're a baker, tailor, sanitation worker, tarper, e-commerce order specialist, animal attendant, janitor, customer service rep, another job, motor vehicle technician, there is an opportunity, medical receptionist, fish processing plant laborer, farm laborer, admin support, lobster processor, pallet builders and general laborer, legal services, bilingual admin assistant. I mentioned it. If you speak French, you've got advantage here. General career application candidate, residence counselor, transportation clerk, customer service consultant, warehouse general laborer, sales representative. Wow. There is also practicum coordinator, housekeeping attendant, marketing assistant, warehouse man and warehouse woman, sales and marketing coordinator, shipping coordinator, store warehouse associate. And there are more. So I would actually encourage you to go and visit the website yourself. Okay, so let's go back to some of your questions. Okay, Saru Madhavan, after getting job, can we maintain the specific, yes, you have to maintain the specific proof of fund. Ruhanya Roberts here, there's a question, one more question. Which is quicker process between student permit or after getting a job offer? I don't understand the question there. Which is a quicker process between student permit or after getting a job offer? Because once you get a job offer, you can actually start with the processing. Of course, you have to fill up the form and you apply for an endorsement. Once you get the endorsement, then you could actually send your application. And that is when the time frame starts. When you send your application and they receive your application, that's when day one starts. It's not the time that you receive your job offer, but that is the time when you sent your application. So take that into consideration. So Saru Madhavan, I got your point, but my question is, after getting job offer, should I maintain proof of funds or before getting a job? Okay, Saru Madhavan, it doesn't matter. However, it is advisable that you have the proof of fund because you might be asked for a bank statement for the past 3 months or not. It depends. As I've said, it depends on the officer. Because like for me, for example, what I actually sent is a bank certificate showing my my actual balance. I did not send a bank statement, so they were not able to see when I got my money. Was it before I got my job offer? Was it deposited in lump sum, or was it actually a continuous deposit, right? So it depends. However, because the requirement is only saying either a bank certificate or a bank statement. But of course, if you do not want to get suspicions, of course it's better if you already have the money before you get the job offer. But if not, it's not the end of the world, right? There are different ways for you to actually explain that. Anyways, if the immigration officer is actually in doubt, they will send you an email and they will give you an opportunity to explain yourself. So you do not have to worry about that. Okay, Abayoni Tauhid, hello, hello, hello. Greetings to you and shout out. How can you help someone to get a job offer in electrical engineer? So I just read through some of the job opportunities. I haven't seen any opening for electrical engineer yet in the two provinces, but we will go through other provinces and we'll see. Okay. Abayomi Tauhid, I enjoy your analysis. Great job, bro. Thank you so much. And I appreciate also your feedback on that. How good is HR openings in AIPP provinces? Is there any certification required to work in HR? Saju, I guess yes, there is a certification to work for HR here in Canada, because most of the people who work in human resources, they are CHRP. However, you could still apply, right? There, because that is still a clerical or admin job. It's just that most of the employers, of course, different countries have their labor laws, different labor laws. That's why, of course, they prefer people who already understand the Canada labor law. That's why there's a certification for Canadian human resources professionals. So that's why. Otherwise, you could also do or apply for another or different office admin job opportunities here. Ahmed Raswan, what's your opinion about studying business administration in New Brunswick for 2 years and study cook program for 16 weeks, then try to have job offer in restaurants, then trying AIPP program? I always recommend Ahmed, if you are not able or if you are having difficulty acquiring a job offer, the study pathway is also a good pathway because once you get your 2 years of education here in Canada, you get 2 years, 3 years postgraduate work permit, which could actually allow you to get a work, and it's easier for you to increase your opportunities or chances of getting an immigration here in Canada. If that is your question. Varalaxmi Saf, hi, I am from India. Greetings, greetings, hello, hello. Lee Jo John, hi. Is there any changes in the AIPP program due to COVID pandemic? Not that I am aware of. Though, of course, the intake has slowed down because, of course, of the changes or the challenges with job opportunities. Some businesses close and shut down. So that is the only change that I think of. What about the recruitment process by the employers? Will they hire people from outside Canada now? Lee Jo John, yes, there are still employers who are actually hiring people from overseas. But of course, it's still the priority is to hire people who are already here in Canada. But as I've said, there are employers who are already starting to hire applications from outside of Canada. Mark Paul Parado, what is website is that survey? The ones that I was actually reading is indeed.ca. Varalaxmi, I have 9 years experience in customer services, Tata Consultancy Services in India. Okay, so is that a question? If you are looking for customer services, I just read some job openings for customer service, so maybe you should actually look at it. Is that the job bank? I haven't gone through the job bank. It's indeed.ca. Varalaxmi, I am finished bachelor's degree. Okay, congratulations. Okay, just one sec. Lee Jujan, is there? I think I already answered that. Enrico Angelo Tabio. So Ray, I'm a registered nurse here in UAE working for 9 years. My age is 46 years old. Am I qualified for AIPP? Thank you. Yes, you are very much qualified for AIPP. With your job, nurse, I know there is an additional process. However, if you want, you could actually try applying for other related jobs to nursing. When I was in Newfoundland, I know that there are some people who are able to get an employment in home care industry. So they were not able to come here as nurses, but they were able to get a job on the home care industry. They were nurses. So I think you should look into that as well. And I just read a lot of openings from Eastern Health in Newfoundland. So maybe you should also have a look and visit their website as well. Excuse me. Lee Jo John, I have applied several jobs for the post of logistics coordinator position through LinkedIn, and mostly I get rejection messages. Is it due to international applicant? Lee Jo, I don't think it's because of international applicant, because they will actually tell you if some of the reasons is if they cannot actually hire someone, they will tell you honestly, right, that they cannot process or they cannot sponsor people working from overseas. So I don't know. Of course, I don't see or I don't know your qualifications, but each employers have their own standards or benchmark for candidates that they are looking for. Enoch Linda, getting social worker job over there. I just read some social worker job openings, so I think you should have a look at that. Ismael Sneakers, hello Sir Ray, shout out from Saudi Arabia. Hello, hello, hello. Marhaba. By the way, I'm AIPP applicant waiting for AOR. Oh, congratulations, Ismael. Till now, we didn't receive. Applied last 2 months back. Any updates for paper-based application from IRCC? Okay, thank you very much for that question, Ismael. I think I answered that question earlier, but again, what you could do is usually AOR, you would receive that after a month or 2 months after you sent your application. That is the confirmation that they receive and they open your application already. However, maybe it could also be because of COVID. There are some updates saying that the process might take a little longer or there's a delay on the process because of that COVID-19. However, what you could do is the same as what my sister did. Create a profile on the website canada.ca, and there is an option there for create a profile, and then from there you would be able to link your paper-based application. There's an option there, link your paper-based application. They will just ask for some verification questions like your last name, your date of birth, and other information. And once you have filled in your application, immediately you will be able to link your application and you would see the updates online. If they already received your application or if they need something from you. Otherwise, you could also give them a call because there is also a hotline. If you don't see the update on your on the online tracking of your application, you could also give a call to IRCC. They have a hotline for that and ask them. Okay? Didar, Dilon, and any LMIA or job for truck drivers? Yes, yes, Didar. I just read some openings for truck drivers. Please go through the list. Ahmed Roswan, thanks a lot for your wonderful answer, bro. What do you think about the most jump in demand in AIPP provinces? Is business administration in high demand or not? Ahmed, I would say yes, business administration is high demand here in Atlantic Canada. Lijo John, thank you for your information, bro. Oh, you're welcome. Celia Gold, hi po. Call center agent po ako for 10 years. Marami po ba akong ma-applyan dyan? Ano ang pinakamadaling way? Should I take IELTS first? Thank you. Celia Gold, IELTS and ECA are requirements for getting a permanent residence through AIPP, but that is not a requirement for applying for a job. But I keep on saying this to everyone. Of course, if you would want to to strengthen your application, it would be better if you have your IELTS and your ECA readily available when applying for job. However, it's not a prerequisite. Okay? And if you're a call center agent, there are some opportunities I just read for customer service representatives earlier. So I think you should also go through the list and you might be able to send your application to. Okay? Rakesh Babu, I have 7 bands IELTS and already finished West. Experience in F&B service. Any chances anywhere in Atlantic Canada? You can send your application. There are openings for F&B service. Better if you have a food service supervisor experience. They are more in demand. Okay. So once again, greetings to those people who are already online. And if you have further questions, please put that in our comment section. I will also go through some, we will continue with the job opening posting, guys. And thank you from Rohania Roberts. Thank you. You're welcome as well. Okay, so moving forward, we already went through the list of job openings in demand jobs for Newfoundland and Labrador and New Brunswick. Now let us explore the opportunities for or from Nova Scotia. So guys, I know people are still waiting, looking. So now this is the list of job opportunities or job vacancies for the province of Nova Scotia. Okay. So there is an opening for assistant store manager in a mall, Micmac Mall in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. There is an opening for camp counselor dog handler. Another opening for service dispatcher. There is an opening for mine laborer. There is an opening for receptionist or clerk, Hallmark Dental Lab. Clerk, General Office. Okay, there is an opening. Aquatic Field Technician. Club Activity and Programming Assistant. There is also a job opening for Secretary 1. There is a job opening for Disability Support Program Specialist. And also drivers and movers. So I think I just read truck drivers. So this could be an opportunity for you. Another opening, executive housekeeper. There is an opening for cloth sorter, wedding and events coordinator as well. Inbound financial customer service. The the employer is Concentrics, so that's a call center. Another job, ophthalmic technician, food counter attendant, clerk front store, youth worker, coffee blending machine feeder, financial assistant, bookkeeper. There is also an opening for vineyard laborer, secretary, package handler in warehouse, laborer, general manufacturing, warehouse assistant, warehouse assembler, cashier, sales associate. There is also an opening for veterinarian receptionist, e-commerce product data administrator, food service supervisor, production worker, QA, QC inspector offshore, temperature screener, post office assistant, clerical assistant, property maintenance, office lead, experienced bartender, online English teacher, guys, and some other jobs. Customer service representative, Sydney call center. So people who's working in call center. Another customer service representative, Cloud 5 Communications. Cleaning supervisor, college instructor, warehouse night order selector, subway sandwich artist, accounting technician, general worker, material handler, cafeteria supervisor, cider maker. Also, these are just some of the jobs available on the list. So I would recommend you guys to visit the website indeed.ca and type in the province that you are interested to look for opportunities. Or you could also type in the job title that you are looking for. Okay, so those are the opportunities for Nova Scotia. And then, lastly, let's go to Prince Edward Island before we go back to your question. So, Prince Edward Island. Okay, so we'll go through the opportunities, most in-demand job openings for the province of Prince Edward Island. Okay, guys, listen. Store associate, Dollarama. Market research interviewer, customer service representative, Advantage Communications, receptionist, Charlottetown Veterinary Clinic, event support crew, general laborer, manufacturing, academic youth worker, education specialist, beer guide, vineyard laborer, auto detailer, client care representative or receptionist, again, on veterinary clinic. Attendant, hotel guest services, okay. Sales consultant, fish plant worker, payroll assistant, Aboriginal outreach worker, office administrator, early childhood program staff assistant, opportunities for laborers, technicians, and forklift drivers, food processing laborer, satellite television technician, shipper receiver, sales representative. There are also job opportunities for Atlantic Specialized Sales Advisor, night production worker, farm machinery operator, vehicle servicing clerk, production technician, business account manager, traffic control managers. It's more of technical jobs in here, right? ESPN fantasy sports specialist, community support supervisor, legal assistant, program manager, telecommunications operator, dental office receptionist, lobster processor or fish processing, fiberglass boat assembler, casual youth service worker, and commercial cleaners. So those are just some of the jobs that are needed in Prince Edward Island. Okay, so now we will go through the rest of your questions before we conclude today's live streaming. Okay, so we'll go through some of your questions, guys. So if you have questions that have not been answered, please put that in our comment section before we before we sign off our live streaming for today. Okay, so Francisco Sictre, hi Ray, how highly would you recommend someone to move to other provinces if not able to find a good job in the province giving the nomination? Okay, Francisco Sictre, if you're talking about provincial nomination program, I know that there is a requirement, or there is a requirement of a minimum stay in a province. However, I also read that, of course, if you have been nominated and you got a permanent resident and you struggle in one province, that should actually be a valid reason for you to be able to move out of that province. However, you should be able to explain and show proof to the immigration, to IRCC, that this is your reason for moving out of the province. However, if you could stay in that province, the better, because of course, we don't want to defeat the purpose of the provincial nominee program, right? The reason why provinces are actually nominating people is because they need people to help their economy, to boost their economy. So with that, you need to make sure that you're actually also doing your part, like looking for job opportunities in that province, right, before exploring other provinces, right? And of course, if you are actually persistent and looking for a job, but the struggle is there, you are no luck, you did not have the luck of getting a job opportunity, you could actually use that as an argument and a reason for you to move out. Okay, but you need to make sure that you inform your immigration officer so that they will not think that you just left the province or abandoned the province that nominated you. Okay, Mr. 132, do you think Nova Scotia is going to make changes in the occupations in demand list? New Brunswick excluded some jobs. July 777, New Brunswick excluded leisure and food. Okay, Mr. 132, I do not think that Nova Scotia would actually do that for now. The reason actually why New Brunswick excluded leisure and food, I think it's more of COVID-19 related, because obviously leisure and leisure is something that is not very essential. And food, I think, because there is already a high demand, or there's they actually closed down the application, for example, last year, I believe, about food service and hospitality programs, because when they launch AIPP, the demand for job opportunities under these industries and sector are very high, and they actually filled in the slots or the quotas immediately, and that is one of the reasons. And with Nova Scotia, I think they are very good with balancing I mean the industries that they will be considering for AIPP. So I do not think that they will do some restrictions like that. Address 1, is studying cook easy or not according to your experience? Okay, so to be honest, I cannot comment on that because I did not study cook. I did not study culinary. So it's not for me to say it's easy or not. Of course, if you think or if you're passionate about cooking, I would recommend, but it's your personal thing, right? So I cannot say that you take this or you don't take this because I don't know you as a person. And of course, for example, if you hate cooking and you're taking culinary, that's just contradicting with one another. So I would recommend to go for something that you would enjoy as well, and of course something that is in demand as well, right? If you're thinking of the study pathway. Lijo John, I have 2 years of forklift operating experience from Denata Cargo, Dubai, but I am currently in India. Is it possible to get job without having license from Canada? I think now for forklift, they actually require license now. However, I know there are some employers who actually hire people and they actually do the licensure in here. So there's no harm of trying as well. Francisco Sick Trade, thanks for your response, Ray. We'll take note of that. Keep safe. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Shell Calago, does 21 years old can work as a housekeeper there, sir? Yes, yes, yes. If you have the experience, you could try and apply for the job. Emefa Yeboya. Are customer service jobs in demand for international applicants? Yes, there are not much of employers, but there are some employers who also hire people from overseas. So there is no harm of trying and sending your application. Ahmed Rashwan, for a good agency, do you know a trusted agency? Help us to find job opportunities. I already mentioned this earlier, Ahmed. I do not encourage or recommend any immigration agency or recruitment agencies because I do not know them personally. I don't want you to trust them because I say so, and I would not recommend something that I have no idea of, right? So I think if you do not have any more questions, guys, I would conclude or we will finish our live streaming for today. Also, if there are some topics that you would like us to discuss, or you would like me to make a video out of, or explain through my YouTube channel, we please put that in our comment section so I could create a video out of it. Also, if you think of topics that we could do a live streaming, also put that in our comment. And of course, we will try our best to accommodate your request. And thank you guys for watching today. Oh, there's another question. Okay, Ahmed, go ahead. However, for those people, if you have not done so, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the thumbs up, like our videos. I also uploaded several videos about Canada immigration, AIPP, Rural Northern Immigration Pilot Program, Ontario Immigration Pilot, some of the programs. I also created videos about tips on how you could create tips on how you would be able to find a designated employer. I also mentioned there a success story of my sister, how she found an employer and immigrated here in Canada. I encourage you to please watch these videos. You would get information and um, tips on how you would become more successful in exploring opportunities to come and immigrate here in Canada. We also have a Facebook page called Canada Immigration Updates by Ray. Please follow that and like. I also post several updates related to immigration. Okay, so before we sign off, let's go through some of the last questions there. Um, so Ahmed Rashwan, thanks bro, see you soon. Last question, do live in Nova Scotia? I didn't get that question, but thank you for watching, Ahmed, and thanks for your question today. Mary Melody Kosai, thank you sir. My husband say thank you also. You're welcome and thank you for watching. Last question from Marie Melody Kosai. Where can we submit our application? Does the employer will help us doing that? Thank you. Mary, for AIPP, you need to send your job application to the employer directly because you are actually applying for a job. When you get a job offer, then they could actually help you fulfill the requirements until you get endorsed. And then if you get the endorsement, then you will send your application to the through mail to the CIO or centralized intake office in Nova Scotia of Immigration, Refugee, Citizenship Canada. Okay, so our IRCC. So, okay, so those are, we will conclude our live streaming today. Thank you very much. And once again, I'll see you on for the another live streaming on Friday, Alberta time, 11 p.m. Same time. If you're in the Philippines, that is Saturday, 1 p.m. So that would be the schedule of our live streaming is 2 times a week. Wednesday and Saturday, Philippines, that is 1 p.m. And in Alberta, that is Tuesday and Friday, 11 p.m. So thank you for watching and thank you for joining me today. See you again next time. Have a great day, guys. Bye.